All right. What's up, everybody on YouTube? This your boy C for 3, man. Y'all already know I do this basketball and astrology in motion, right? And back with another video. It's definitely been a minute. Tap in with everybody, seeing how 2026 has been going with y'all. As we have the first eclipse that's going on today and tomorrow. Happened officially on the 17th, but this the 18th. Everybody can feel eclipse energy, eclipse season, the first one of 2026. So definitely want to tap in and drop a video for my YouTube audience, try to get back more consistent, get back into it. But it has been already a crazy year, man. It has already been, and I won't even say a crazy year. It's been a crazy calendar year for 2026, because all my people who know more deeper astrology topics and concepts, the new year doesn't start until 2026 of March, when we have Aries season, the first cardinal season, fire season, started up with fire. So it's good to be back, man. It's good to drop this video. I've been busy, still a lot of people developing the karma from 2025, which was the year of karma. You know what I'm saying? Well, the year of revelation, honestly. A lot of things were revealed in 2025. We still having that. We still seeing that now at the beginning of this calendar season, and this eclipse is really pushing us to really, really see what's going to be happening for this year, 2026, spiritually, in a lot of ways. So hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys find yourself good on this February 18th, this February month, Black History Month. Also, all my people out there doing your thing. Life has definitely been crazy. It's always crazy. It's always a battle. That's why I have this channel, Spiritual Warfare, Basketball and Astrology in Motion. Basketball and astrology is a good way to understand the battle and the spiritual warfare that we're in every day. So, I just hope everybody's doing good. So, without further ado, this eclipse that we're having, this is the first one of 2026, you know what I'm saying? Right now, a lot of people say we're in the golden era of eclipses, This is called the Ring of Fire eclipse. So off the bat, you can feel a lot of action around this one. A lot of people might feel like they have to hop through some hoops to get some things done. It is hot. Even though it is like cold, it is hot. I got my car hot as a bitch. And I might be getting sick. I don't know. That's the thing too. I might be getting sick, y'all. Like out here in New England, these winter times, these winter months, it's easy to get sick, right? I've been sick like twice since December, and I never get sick. So this has been a real challenging time for me. That's why I've been backed up on astrology and different things. But as a man, we got to work. As a human, we got to get it. So Ring of Fire eclipse, right? This is called the Ring of Fire eclipse. Right now I feel like a lot of people are looking into making moves, jumping through some damn hoops, because it's been 6 years since COVID. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have been down since COVID. Jobs fluctuation, been switching. Virtual online classes, virtual schooling, everything virtual. The rise of the gig economy, Uber, Lyft, Instacart, DoorDash, GoPuff, whatever the case. So many other apps, right? So many remote jobs now off the phones, right? So we're entering into this era 6 years later, Ring of Fire type energy. A lot of people are like, what can I do? And it's Aquarius season. So this is happening in Aquarius season, which leads to the Ring of Fire type of energy intertwining with the mentalities, the conversations people are gonna have, you know what I'm saying? The mindsets, you know what I'm saying? The debates, the friend groups, the human groups, And it's just a point where people are about to start taking chances, and not to mention this is the year of the fire horse. So we got the Ring of Fire eclipse, the Ring of Fire summation, would it be in that lunar year, the horse year, all that type of things, right? Which is would be a separate video I'm gonna make. But this is just the first eclipse of 2026, And also we're gonna have another total eclipse in August. That's another summation, and probably I think one more before them earlier in the summer. So it's a good time to write. I got my pen right here. It's a good time to write and see what you're feeling, what you're doing, financial goals, physical goals, mental goals, love goals, career goals, right now is a good time to write that down during this first eclipse of 2026, this ring of fire, and see how it lines up. You know, I think it's a good time. We have to start tracking what's going on, right? I've been tracking since 2020, 2019. So I know what's going on. I can see the change in people. I can see the change in the environment. I can see the change in the landscape, you know, but that's kind of like literally the world we live in. So, me personally, right? You know, I've been taking more chances with basketball. You know, that's been growing. I don't know if you guys on YouTube know, some people who've been following me on social media. Things with my basketball career as a coach and as a trainer has been growing. So, you know, taking more leaps with this leap of fire, my own self, this ring of fire eclipse, you know. I want to see more growth and change in that, and I write it down. But also, I have to be willing to take the chance. You know, put myself out there as a coach, put myself out there as a trainer, even as an astrologer. Right, I'm always seeing growth in astrology, but it takes a lot of time out of me. So, this eclipse is also telling me, you know, because eclipse brings change, life change, and something new into people's lives. Either you doing it or God or have something happen to you, like a car wreck, a health problem, etc., etc., etc. Sometimes things are out of your control, you know. So sometimes the Most High brings things during the eclipse, you know, which could be this whole week. If it didn't happen yesterday on the day of the eclipse or today, be cognizant of at least the next 2 days until the moon goes into like probably Aries. The moon is in Pisces right now, post that eclipse. But what kind of change can you bring in your life? So me, I might change up the way I'm doing astrology. You know, I might offer something with some Zoom classes or something. I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about. That's just something personal. But also with that being said, just growing, reaching out more clients, providing more videos, you know, that's something with the eclipse, you know. I feel like a lot of people karma might be being eclipsed, you know. If you've been going through it since 2020 to 2025, you know, certain planetary things are changing, like Neptune and Aries is there, ironically, with this ring of fire energy. So a lot of people might be feeling more bold, you know, bold with dreams, putting themselves first. I want to say Saturn is going into Aries also. So we have a big fiery push, a big Aryan energy push that correlates with this being called the ring of fire eclipse, you know. Also with a solar eclipse, you know, we do have the new moon energy, which means the sun was in Aquarius, the moon was in Aquarius during this eclipse also, when the moon passes kind of in front of the sun. Shout out to the little energy light right there, you know. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying? It's still time for something new, emotional new reset, you know. If January's been tough for you, February's been tough for you, you know, what can we do new to add some new energy, new mindset, especially with the sign of Aquarius, you know, new conversations. What ways can you have new conversations to enhance your life, you know? How can you support your friends on social media? How can you find new friends on social media and real life, right? How do you support your friends in real life? Speaking life into them, speaking life into your business, speaking life into the friend group, like I play men's leagues basketball, so I always try to speak life into certain guys there and give them life, because that's almost expanding my friend group area, right? Or Aquarius season deals with groups of friends that are not always your personal day ones, you know. That's like more Gemini, Cancer, under the horizon energy. We talk about over the horizon for astrology. You know, these are concepts that shoot further out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's one thing with the eclipse, with it being new moon, new energy in Aquarius. You know, write down what do you want to have new, you know, whether it be business life, relationships, girlfriends, boyfriends, if you're a chick watching this video, you know. So get that out there, you know. Another thing this eclipse is bringing to the light, with it being an Aquarius season, cuspy aqua season right now. Today is the first day of Pisces as I make this video. Eclipses is bringing the old world is starting to fall away, you know, and we can see this definitely with the Epstein files. You know, the old world is starting to fall away. You know, a lot of these old celebrities, or these old presidents, these old senators, congress members, people that were in government, old police officers, old actors, anything that was probably born before the 90s or 80s, I think 80s babies, anything in the 70s, right? That's like 40, 50 years ago, at least 50. So, probably older than that, right? So, the old generation, the old world is falling away. Bits and pieces, you know, us new generation, we're seeing the Epstein files and the perverted measures that are going around, and maybe the old things that happen in Hollywood. And this shoe has been dropping. This mask has been falling off since 2020 when we saw COVID, which entered a new virus and new landscape of the world started to change then with the gig economy and new technological advances that we're seeing now, right? So the eclipse pushes us forward in time. Every time we have an eclipse like this, and this is called the great annual eclipses, right? The great golden eclipse era right now. So we're living in like a golden era for eclipses. Talk about the rap golden era, the golden era of the internet, the golden era of social media, blah, blah, blah. Based on reports I've seen online, this is the golden era of eclipses. So we're probably going to see the most change in our lives or in human history in the next 5 years before 2030, based on the eclipse code and based on things like this moving forward, you know. I think we can learn from the Epstein files going forward. You know, who do we trust in this new world going forward? Because it's not the government. It's really not even strangers this time. We trust ourselves and the communities that we build and relate to. Shout out to Aquarius energy, right? I think more people are starting to trust their tribes and their groups and their niche audience more than the overarching galactic government, the overlords of us, right? Because that's starting to fall down. A lot of people can see it, but some people still can't. Some people are still in the circus. Some people are still, for lack of better words, following the celebrities to a hellhole, following the leaders to a hellhole, right? That's one thing this Ring of Fire eclipse is speaking to an astrologer like me, who was bold enough to go through that Ring of Fire and their Ring of Fate and be a leader. The old world is falling down. Who's going to be the new righteous leaders, right? Who is going to be the leaders that bring the change and the life-changing principles that the millennial generation, Gen Z, Gen A, Gen B will be? Who's going to lead the new generation? Because these old heads have left us with a culture and community that's really promoted and downtrodden from the American dream that we realize. So this eclipse is going to be a big turning point on who gains leadership and who loses it. Some of these old heads will be fighting for it, and some of these young people like me, I'm 33, 20-year-olds and teenagers and maybe 40-year-olds. I won't say 40 is not old. Until 50, you're starting to get there. But, you know, who's going to take that throne, right? It's just like spiritual warfare is real, and it's enacting through human 3D and also the eclipses, right? Who's going to step up with all these old guys is falling? Because before long, you know, people know about Epstein's, people know about sacrifices, people know about conspiracies, right? If you watch videos on my channel, I was going deeper and deeper on these things, but right now, I've been slowing up because it's like every day we have a new conspiracy theories coming up, right? Every day, the average person is talking about Epstein. The average person is talking about Diddy parties, right? So we're living in a world now based on information and technology. God even knows that. What excuse do you have besides, my people perish for the lack of knowledge? My people perish because they refuse to read a book. My people perish because we refuse to realize everything happens for a reason, good and bad, right? It's always two sides of a coin. You know, it's more than one way to skin a cat, you know? Shout out to my country people. So, with that being said, this eclipse energy, if you don't have too much important decisions to make, it's a good time to sit and reflect. You know, reflect on your finances, reflect on your friends, reflect on your mindset, reflect on where you really want to go and aim this thing for 2026 to 2030, right? These next couple years will be very crucial in human history, our personal growth, you know? We're getting into a time now where people are getting competitive. This is a 1 year, you know, the fire horse year. Who's gonna win that race? That's another video I'm gonna make, but I'll drop some nuggets in this one, right? A lot of people are getting to that point. It's like, who's gonna win? Who's gonna be a leader? You know, part of being a leader is getting to the top a little bit, knowing how to help others win. You know, the prime thing about being a leader is you know how to show people the right way. Man, I think a lot of us are like, is the government showing us the right way, or on the back end leading even the innocent girls and boys of this country astray, you know? So, you know, and that's how I see it as an astrologer and how I look at life, you know? So it's a good time to reflect on all of these concepts, you know? And before I get off here, another thing we can look at that proves that the old world is dying, and it proves that this eclipse energy is linked up. Black History Month is linked up with this eclipse energy. It's the fact that Jesse Jackson died yesterday. You know, all of my black people, all of my people, white people, anybody who know human history or American history, we should know about Jesse Jackson and all the civil rights things he did with MLK. You know what I'm saying? So I find it ironic that he died yesterday, the day of this solar eclipse that's about to be the great golden period of eclipses in American history, which has probably been predicted years and years on end. So we have a very, very big political figure dying, Jesse Jackson, right on Black History Month, and who knows all the things he done to get to that spot. But it's just showing that even for black people, whoever, we have a new way to think about who we are and how we have our rights, what are civil rights in 2026, right? Based on the internet and based on defamation of character and AI and things like this, right? And this is another sign of the old world dying, right? I feel like we living in a generation now. We know that marching stuff is a little played out, right? We need a little bit more action, but at the same time, that concept was really great from MLK, who has Aquarius placements on how to change the mindsets of people without brute force and brute mentality. So it's like, yes, we should be building off this model, right? Those of us in the new world, because that was the old world. If you even think about how MLK got shot and letting dogs off on people and segregation and all the concepts, all the Aquarian concepts from the past in that world, that was literally like the old world. You see videos in black and white. You hear things about them bombing bus stations and bombing MLK and burning crosses in front of people's houses. Like, we're on such a phone time generation now that sending the right tweet can get you shot. Sending the wrong tweet, you know, posting the wrong thing. Remember when Charlie Kirk died that time? People were getting fired from their jobs because all the slander and all the backlash, political backlash. So new world order, for lack of better words. The people who know about that, Illuminati, WWE, brainwashing scam they had us in. But, you know, so Jesse Jackson does represent also another pillar falling, and also doing Black History Month. So many prominent black people died during Black History Month. That is just fucking absurd. I should make a video about that crap. But I'm not surprised, you know. So R.I.P. Jesse Jackson. He stood for a good cause, quote unquote, but he's also a representation of that old world falling. And what do we have to do as black people to move forward? Even people, right? Civil rights are rights for humans, right? Because we're at the point now, ICE is taking out everybody, right? So who's going to stand up for that, right? Even we're in this this ICE thing, right? All these ICEs and all these government coalition programs and shit they put us under. But you know, that's where we're at with this eclipse, man. We're looking at all these things and being like, this is the world we live in. What can we do to go forward? Because we're not going backwards to 2020 with COVID. We're going head deep into this. And I feel like you got to have a game plan. You got to know how to sit and reflect. Even with the NBA All-Star game, to hop off into basketball for a second, you know, all my basketball people. We're not going back to 2001, 2002 NBA All-Star with Kobe versus Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, Shaq, and MJ out there, and Kevin Garnett is that competitive, and those camera angles, and people had that same passion. We have to realize we're in a world now when people will play a basketball game with you and tweet about you and post about you. Instead of fighting the new world with this eclipse energy, instead of reminiscing, you can reflect. You can reflect. It's good to reflect, but reminiscing brings you, in my mind, too far back. You're living in the past. You're living in Jesse Jackson era. Like, Jesse Jackson is literally out of here. MLK been gone, right? So, and we'll see how many more prominent deaths in the new world we'll have during Aquarius season. And it's funny that he died during Aquarius season, because Aquarius is a time where you speak your mind and you're known for your mindsets and views and things like that, and leading people in large groups of people. And then we have Jesse Jackson, who died in Aquarius season. Big speaker, led great groups of people. Literally a political activist, meaning you get up on like political platforms and civil rights platforms and activize the people and activate the people and activities. So this is a big Aquarius season, Black History Month ritual. But understand the ritual from the other side, that the old world is falling. So, you know, with that being said, try to cut this video off at 20 minutes. This your boy C for 3. The Ring of Fire Eclipse is here. I hope you guys understood what I was saying in this video. You know, a lot of people start taking chances. A lot of people going to try to start something new starting this week right now, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, ending up February. You know what I'm saying? What kind of leap of faith will you take during this Ring of Fire, you know, this Ring of Fire? What is something new that's going to be going on in your life with this eclipse, right? What mindset do you have now that you don't need to go back forward to, right? Also, eclipses can bring new mental clarity, right? You could be like, you know what? Nah, fuck that. I was fucked up 2025 in January. I was on the fence with it, but 2026 now, February, this is what it is. And the eclipse brings that energy to people, you know? So, and it's a new moon energy. So get those new emotional resets, sit and reflect. Everything new with this eclipse energy. So hope you guys vibe high. Enjoy the video. It's your boy C for 3. This is the first eclipse of 2026, the Ring of Fire eclipse. Use it. Harness this energy. You guys want birth chart, astrology work, hit me up. You got my email. You got my IG. Vibe high, people. I'll be back on another one.